Check, 1, 2. Okay. You may never leave. Hi, everybody. Hi. Very neighborly. Right. So, I see... I'm sorry, we gave you a really bum slot, competing with Dan Kaminsky. But, everyone who's ever seen any of his talks actually knows that the entire Dan Kaminsky talk can usually be summed up in one sentence. The internet is buggered. Or more crudely, the internet is fucked. So this is likely to be much more interesting because this is actually about building something as opposed to just pointing out that everything's broken like this. Ha ha. So it's my pleasure to introduce Tijmen Schep. I think that's how you pronounce it.
Fine, Tijmen.
Who will be talking about building... Is this wireless utopia?
Yeah.
See, anyone who uses the word utopia in my book actually is extremely dangerous because utopia, as we all know, was in fact actually an idea of hell. But anyway, without further ado, to it.
Well, that's kind of what I'm saying as well. Hi, everybody. Tijmen Schep. I work for the netneat.org Foundation, a Utrecht-based foundation that promotes wireless media, art, and public space. But... I'll tell you a bit more about myself in a bit. I've tried to put as many images in this as I could because I really enjoy that. And I know this lecture is less nerdy than the other ones, but I promise that after a little bit of a wonky introduction and a wonky outro, in the middle there will be some very good nerdiness. All right, I'm a galaxy explorer. I'm Tijmen Schep. I was born in 1981. My dad's a vet, my mom's a masseuse, no, not a masseuse, what you call it. Professional masseuse kind of person. This is my dad, and that's me. And already you can see that the focus is truly on technology, as it would be for the rest of my life. That's me playing chess in Barcelona. I remember this guy totally kicking my ass, but he was very kind about it, so he kept helping me out. Sorry? You can tell from the number of pieces. Yeah, exactly. The more observant of you will see that I'm actually really getting my ass kicked. Yeah, definitely. I probably should. He probably kicked my ass by this time. He probably said, sorry. And when I was about 18, I went to England and I did something which was really a good decision. I was very much a technical guy, very much a beta guy. And I decided to study psychology and sociology for a year. And that was really an eye-opener. That was really a good thing to do. Because it really taught me a lot about society and people. And kind of gave me the interest to look at that. I also really love to travel, but who doesn't? But recently I was in Nigeria, and that was really quite something. I'm always amazed by how many people there are in this world. You leave one of those cities in the airplane, you're like, damn, those people will continue to hustle and bustle even when I'm back home in the other hustle and bustle. And my life is also a lot about faith. I was brought up religiously, although I'm now an atheist. But I do find in myself this need for faith strongly. And I think I'm not the only one, and this lecture will actually resolve around this word in a way. Here we go. This lecture is also a lot about the future, really. Ubiquitous computing is still something that we're, in a way, waiting for, that's in the future. And I find that the future is very much a question of faith. It really is what you believe in, because we honestly don't know, but you kind of want to have a picture of it. You have to believe in something, right? And for me, as a nerd, this was it. I didn't believe in God anymore, so I changed to Star Trek. That's a great idea. people finally made a better world themselves. It's a man-made heaven. And a very important thing that I find in all this is losing my faith and things like that is I really don't want to fool myself. That's one of the most important things in my life. I always wonder, what can I believe in? And what is true? And can I have hope? So I think about the future a lot. Will we be okay? And is hope viable? That's always very much something that kind of I try to find something between good and bad hope. Good hope is the hope that is true, that's reliable, that's something that we may have. And bad hope is the one that tries to steer us off the correct path. So it's kind of you're like a little ship in between dreams and optimism and pessimism and sobriety. I try to think of society going well, but there's so much that's really going wrong. Like one of the things that going to England and studying psychology for a year was really shook my faith in mankind. When you read about Stanley Milgram's prison experiments, where people will shock someone to death, literally, well, not literally, it wasn't an experiment, so it was fake, but they were willing to shock someone to death because someone in a lab coat said so. It really makes you question our ability to create this world around us. And of course, there's a lot of, it's not the only problem we have. There's many problems like, this is what people eat in a week. On the top left, you find an American family, and on the top right, an African family. And it's quite a difference. Of course, there's, environmental problems and oil problems. Are we only going downhill from here? Have we used up most of the oil? Who knows? But it's scary stuff. I always think about Carl Sagan, who said, who called Earth Spaceship Earth, which really brought home this idea that we're all in this together, and it's the only spaceship we've got, really. But then again, I also enjoy watching very populist documentaries such as this, which is about one which is recently aired in America, which was a whole narrative about how Earth was going to end by the year 2100, how society would collapse with all these problems. So we do have a lot of problems, it seems. And can we fix those? Is it even possible? And I find that probably in a festival such as this, a lot of people will say technology. Technology is widely perceived as something that can fix things. Technology solves problems. And I wonder to what extent technology can solve problems. And going back to my idea of what can we believe in, to what extent can I believe this? What technology do I find viable as something that will save the Earth and what doesn't?